I do. Things get better with time. Yet souls never undied as a haiku. These thoughts never can die. These tears never gonna dry when I lose you. Some hearts double inside. Short head grow inch line with the Grinch do. I don't have time cause the race do. Factor in lines that are barefoot. On the way up, slugfest. Some say no fair times.
Welcome back. Today is October 13th, 2022, and we have another episode of the Monday Evening Football Daily Show for you. And man, do we have some new... Oh, hang on. Hello? Hey, Dan, how we doing? Good. No, I just started a daily show. What was that? You wanted me to leak all the information you have on the other NFL owners? Hey, don't you think that's a little preemptive? Okay, Dan. I know you got some... Yeah, okay. No, I'm just kidding. But, hey, big news around the league. And, hey, man, this guy, Dan Snyder, he just won't go away. And if you don't know who Dan Snyder is, he is the owner of the Washington Commanders. And for the last 23 years has been, on the end of a lot of different scandals for his team. He's cheating other NFL owners out of money by, cooking the books in a way. And it has come out today that the NFL pretty much can't touch him, according to Dan Snyder, because of the amount of dirt he has on other NFL owners. He said he has enough dirt on these NFL owners to make the league crater in a way. And man, the Dan Snyder saga continues. We need to get this jamoke out of the NFL. But also, I'm curious because I'm sure he does have dirt on other NFL owners. I'm very curious to see what that might be. And, the NFL does have a league meeting in New York on Tuesday. And many of the owners, they would like to see Snyder removed. So I don't know what exactly is going to happen there. But it's like you're backing Dan Snyder into a corner like one of them Chicago street rats, and this dude's gnawing his way out every time. It is rather crazy to see how much he's able to get away with. He said privately that the NFL can't fuck with me, and in a world of zero sum, and then in a zero sum world of billionaires, this is how you survive, is by keeping dirt on other people. Not the way that, most people probably go about doing things, but, so far it's seemingly working for him. But I think you're messing with the NFL, the whole NFL. I don't think these other owners are going to take it lightly. Dan Snyder came out and said the NFL is a mafia. All the owners hate each other. And then one other veteran owner says, that's not true. Just all the owners hate Dan, which, I think all the owners would like to see him booted from the league. And it's tough because the Commanders are playing the Chicago Bears tonight. And what's that thing that, Ron Rivera was talking about, earlier in the week when he said that quarterback was the position we were lacking in? He created a distraction. And now you have Dan Snyder creating this giant distraction of saying, hey, NFL, it's time you either, put up or shut up. But you're not going to touch me because I have too much information on you and what you guys do, and based on the way where the world's at and all the scandals, all the shit that has been coming out, I wouldn't be surprised if it was some, outrageous thing about the NFL that, maybe turns people away. But I think the game might be too great that it's probably, and the NFL is too much of a powerhouse that they're gonna stifle, they're gonna, put Dan Snyder in a box and not let him out, and we'll see what happens there. But definitely interesting to see Dan Snyder come out and say, hey, we got some dirt on these other NFL owners. And I just hope it's none of the Packers owners that, hold stock or anything like that. I texted my buddy Nick today, who he is an NFL owner, he's part Packer owner, and I texted him, I said, hey, what has he got on you? What has he got on you? You can't have much, right? So, still waiting to hear back from him, but crazy to see. Man, did not expect to wake up to that this morning, but once again, here we are. But it is a Thursday night football game today between the Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. And I know a lot of people are coming out and saying, hey, the Bears need to trust Justin Fields when it comes to playing football. It does seem to me, and I'm a Packers fan, but I got a pretty good sense of what's happening in the NFC North. It does seem to me that Justin Fields can be a guy, but I don't know what the disconnect there is. But I think you got to let this Ohio State quarterback, come out, run the field, do what he does best, when it comes to throwing the pigskin or maybe getting out of the pocket or just being a leader. I don't see the Commanders putting up too much of a fight against the Bears, but also I don't see the Bears putting up too much of a fight against the Commanders. That's just where these two football teams are at. I think it'll be a better game than everyone is expecting it to be. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it's, like a Illinois-Iowa game that ends 6-9. And I think, we hope to see Justin Fields throw a lot of tutters. Hope to see that guy Carson Wentz throw a lot of tutters. And I want to see some good football here on Thursday night. And I think these two average teams can possibly get it done, even with the swirling stories that are going around the league. But we'll see. I know the Bears have a wide receiver that I think Harry is his last name that they just brought off injured reserve that I think they're excited about. And they're going to need some wide receiver weapons because Darnell Mooney, as serviceable as a wide receiver as he is, he needs some help out there. And giving Justin Fields an extra weapon to kind of go to, build some chemistry with early, is definitely going to help out the Bears. We'll see how this game goes. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. Woo, woo. And I think it should be a fun one, to say the least. I know Chicago Bears fans are excited about it. Commanders fans are probably excited to get a distraction from the Dan Snyder news. I don't think the rest of the NFL is too excited about this Thursday night game. But hey, sometimes you're stuck with what you're stuck with, and beggars can't be choosers when it comes to wanting to watch some NFL football, you know what I'm saying? But speaking of, the Bears wide receiver coming back, the Rams are trying to get a wide receiver that they formerly had on the team back as well. Sean McVay coming out and saying that the Rams haven't made their last offer to Odell Beckham Jr., that is. And Odell Beckham Jr. was a little upset at the original offer that he had received. Beckham tweeted, LA knows where I wanted to be, but they didn't offer me anything. So I don't know what people want me to do. Now, Sean McVay's come out and said he loves Odell. They have constant dialogue, very similar to how Aaron Rodgers talked about Odell Beckham. So we'll see where this guy lands later on this season, because he's definitely going to make an impact for the team he goes to. Me personally, I would like to see him go to the Green Bay Packers. Why not, right? Well, that might be a little selfish of me, but yeah, hell yeah. See him and Aaron Rodgers together. That's the hole that's the hole we probably need to fill, and I think we could probably get him on a pretty friendly deal, but you got to pay him a little bit. But I think the Packers have made some moves this offseason and have some cap space. I got to talk with Ken Ingles, who's one of the Packers' big Twitter guys he breaks down all the contracts, all that stuff, shows where the Packers' salary cap stands. Really great follow on Twitter if you don't already follow him. But would love to see the Packers get Odell. But does look like Sean McVay would love to see him back in Los Angeles too. And given the situation, if they both offered the same contract type, I could see Odell maybe wanting to stay in that warmer weather Los Angeles area. But developing story there. We'll have to see where Odell lands, but it'll be a fun one. Speaking of landing, the Giants punter Jamie Gillan finally landed back in the United States after being delayed to come back home after the London game between the Giants and the Packers. And apparently he had a little bit of a visa delay, which, caused him some trouble in getting back. They said the Giants tried to pull all their strings that they could, and then they had to get some government officials involved to get him a new visa that is not, I think his original visa was a NATO visa, and he needed to switch it to a work visa, but he got that situated. But man, could you imagine his visa getting delayed so long that he wasn't able to punt in their upcoming game? That would be kind of wild, but glad to see they got that worked out. And, hey, I mean, he's got a hell of a nickname, too, the Scottish Hammer. So glad to see him getting back in the United States here. Getting ready to, kick with whatever opponent they have up and coming. Yeah, very nice to see. Man, we are kind of cooking through these stories today, huh? But a big one that's kind of circling around the internet is Randall Johnson, that old pitcher from the Diamondbacks, Randy Johnson himself. A picture circulating around the internet of him. Hey, he's got a nice life after the baseball. He became a professional photographer, and he's shooting NFL games now. And not only that, he's got a pretty incredible logo for his photography, and it's a dead bird. Like the dead bird he hit when he was throwing that heat. But I think it was pretty cool to see Randy Johnson kind of circulating around the Twitter sphere and, the rest of the internet with pictures of him, big old tall Randy Johnson. I'd love to see Devontae Adams try to push him over because, you might match him height for height. It'd be interesting. I think Randy Johnson might be able to hold his own against Devontae. But that's neither here nor there. I would love to see some of the photos that Randy Johnson's coming out with of the NFL. I would love to see some of his action shots. See if he's got an eye for the game. See what he's capturing over there. We know he had an eye for pitches and striking batters out. But good to see that he's kind of found a little bit of a different life after baseball. And photography, I got to imagine, was a passion of his all along. And if you know me, I love people chasing their passions. So, good to see Randall Johnson, getting his photography on. Great to see, especially for the NFL. Hey, if you're going to shoot photography, you can go shoot mountains. You could go shoot, cityscape. But nothing better than shooting some guys, catching the pigskin, throwing the pigskin, getting some blocks in. Love to see it. And, that's a legendary logo for Randy Johnson, the dead bird. I think that caught a lot of people's eyes, and they were pretty ecstatic when they saw that. Speaking of ecstatic, I think Miami Dolphins have to be pretty ecstatic that Tua's getting back on the field, throwing the ball a little bit, moving around. He has been officially ruled out for this game on Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings, which is not great as a Packer fan because you want to see the Dolphins have their, best players out there. And that being said, I hope the Dolphins still win this one. But good to see, Tua get back. I think the Dolphins are starting to take a little more, a lot of caution with Tua based on, the missteps that they had with his first concussion and then putting him back out there and then putting him back out there the next week and then him getting concussed again. So I think it's tough because you have a lot of you have Tua who really wants to get back out on the field, but you have a lot of this media story, this perception that the Dolphins didn't care and they mishandled the situation. Let's just call it what it was. They mishandled it. We all saw it. Everyone in their right mind saw the same thing, and they definitely mishandled the situation. So now they might have to be a little overprotective, and it potentially could end up, hurting them down the stretch. We'll see. We'll see if Skylar Thompson can sky that ball out and make waves against the Minnesota Vikings this week. But if not, hopefully Tua gets back the week after. But man, I gotta stop saying but. Neither here nor there. It's funny though. I wish we kind of can get a glimpse into some of the Dan Snyder news because I am very curious to know what some of these other NFL owners have been doing. And I think he does have the dirt. I think he does. So it's like, and it makes sense why he hasn't been moved from his position. But we will have to wait and see. Maybe we'll get a little more information next Tuesday from the NFL league owner meeting. That'll be a good date to keep on your calendar. And 15 minutes in, beautiful. Hey, that's pretty much all the stories we have today around the NFL that we could find. I'm sure there'll be more and more developing as we go on through the day. But we got the Bears and the Commanders tonight on Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Should be a good game, hopefully. That's what you just got to root for. You got to root for good football on Thursday night because it's the only game. It stands alone. Thursday and Monday nights are a special time because that's the only game you're getting. So if it doesn't come correct, you're usually going to be let down. But I think we should see a couple average teams really kind of putting up the points this week on Thursday Night Football. And I will say this: I do have a couple bets. I think I have one with the Bears winning, but we will see. If you have any bets, drop them down in the comment below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And in about 14 minutes, we got the Pat McAfee Show. Like I said, we're the unofficial Pat McAfee Show until further notice. So tune in next time, which will be tomorrow, same time, 10:30, and we'll hit you up with some more NFL news from around the